How's it going, everybody? I hope today's having an awesome Tuesday. This is a video a lot of you guys have requested, is pretty much on my EDC stuff and how I carry it. I've kind of dragged along, waiting to get some stuff finalized and put together the right way to where I'm comfortable with it. There's been a couple changes and a couple bumps on the road, you can say, as far as the gear that I have. But I've got it all sorted out to where I think I have the perfect EDC setup for me and the style and way that I carry. A lot of it's based on the way I train and shooting, and competition shooting has changed a little bit of that. So again, this isn't going to be for everybody, but this is what works for me. I will start out by showing you guys some of the gear that I have and my gun and why I pick out what I have, and then I'll go on to showing you guys how I use it and why I have it that way. Alright, so here is what I pretty much carry. I'm not going to get into my keys and cell phone and pocket dump like you see a lot of times. This is kind of the meat and potatoes, the important stuff that you're going to have to carry, or I carry, day to day for just self-defense, and in the event that anything shitty ever happens, that I'll be ready. I have my 1911 carry in 357 SIG. You guys know I've switched from double action, single action to single action only, because of the trigger pull, being consistent all the time. You want to use something that you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter if anybody, team of Navy SEALs, Donald Trump, any of the tactical people you see or you follow on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. I massively agree with a video I saw that Jerry Mitchelluk had. It doesn't matter what it is as long as you're comfortable carrying it. I mean, as much as it pains me to say it, if you have a high point that you shoot very well and you know it's reliable and you're the most comfortable with that, that's going to be what you should probably carry, because you know how to use it, you can consistently use it, and you're comfortable with it. So whatever that is, make sure that you're comfortable with it. I've switched over. Here's a Vetter holsters, full Kydex holster. I use this quite a bit because the black arch I had wasn't working. I'll show you a quick video of that. And you'll see why. I took it to my buddy Bob. He is the owner of Wall Holsters, who makes the holster for my PPK when I'm using that. That's only if I need to go deep conceal or really not have anything printing on me at all. I can hide that to where nobody can see it. He made the holster or the sheath for my knife, my mag pouches. Excellent work from him. So when this wasn't working, I took it to him as opposed to sending it back to Black Arch, and he fixed this up for me. I'll probably do another video on everything he did with that. It'll be too much for me to get into now. But I really, really like the hybrid holsters. You can wear them all day. They're super comfortable. Black Arch does a great job. It's just that the way they designed it for this 1911, it was really hard for me to draw. So it had to be modified to work. Now it works perfectly, and I am 110% positive that I can rely on it for day-to-day use. Inside the waistband mag pouches. This is important. A lot of people say, well, what do you need all those mags for? And it's not about round capacity for me, because I'm in one of those people that think if you get into a shitty situation, you're not going to be taking down 1,000 people. It's going to be you need something to happen now, and you need to put a threat down. So everybody says, oh, well, it doesn't carry that many rounds. I personally don't think that you're going to need 60 rounds to dump on somebody, because either the threat's already going to be eliminated, you're going to be eliminated, or you're in a situation where a handgun is not going to be the solution. I carry extra mags because the problems with most semi-automatic guns are not the fact that the gun won't run, it's mag problems. Almost all the issues I've had in competition, and pretty much any issue I've had with these, except for me changing out parts and having to figure out what works, is the mags not feeding or having dirt in them to where they jam, or just some kind of feed issues with the magazine. So I always carry 2 extra mags in case I'm having an issue with the mag. I have more options to drop and switch out in that instance. Big fan of carrying a fixed blade knife. If you ever need to pull it, you don't have to worry about fidgeting with it. And I wear this horizontal on my belt, so it hides nicely. It's right where I need it, and it just works really well. The knife is from Dawson Knives. They're out of Prescott Valley, Arizona. They use amazing steel. They make everything in-house, and it's a hell of a company. These things are really durable, and they hold an edge extremely well for a long time. So that's pretty much the gear I got and that I use. So now I'll throw it on and show you guys how I wear it. So here I am, all ready to go. You can see, I mean, there's minor printing if I move around a little bit, but I mean, for the most part, you know, I think it hides pretty well, and everything is very comfortable to where it doesn't get in the way, nothing pinches me. I can sit in the truck, move around, go out to dinner, whatever, and nothing's in the way. I don't have to rearrange, I don't have to, you know, grab something and move it. Nothing's in the way right here. I'm not a huge fan of appendix carry. There are certain instances where it is sometimes the best way to carry, and you know, you can't get around it. But as far as day to day, this is where I like to be. You'll see I got my 1911 on the side. I wear it at 3 o'clock. I used to wear it at about 4:30 until I started shooting competition a lot, and I have gotten so used to being able to draw right here that I feel it is the best way for me to carry. You try to carry how you train, so I've gotten used to that. These hybrid holsters make it super comfortable. Nothing pushes into my hip bones, and that's why I had to get that modified to get away from this. I would wear this right here, and it's not too bad. You do gotta get used to it a little bit, but I'll throw that on after this and show you. These are great holsters, just not as comfortable. My knife right in the front, right where it's easy to get to. It doesn't print hardly at all. That's probably the thing that prints the most when you move around is my knife. So you can always change that if it's not to your liking. The mag pouches, carry them on my hip. So everything I need to, I can come out and everything's good. Sometimes it's a little tricky getting it back to reholster, but you're not going to tactically reholster anywhere. So you can come out, I can come out, and everything's right where I need it to be all the time. So that's kind of why I have the stuff situated where I do, and why. Make sure the stuff about gear that I've learned is everything will work great at the range. When you can't rapid fire, you can't double tap, everything seems to work fine. My 1911 did when I got it, my Glock when I put it together did, and the second I took it out to a USPSA match and you start running it hard, stuff starts jamming up. So make sure whatever you carry, you've tried at the range, you know, try to get somewhere, an outdoor range, where they don't have restrictions on how fast you can fire, or some BLM land, or just some place where you can go and actually push your firearm to its limits. I've done that with this. It's one of the reasons I carry 357 SIG and a SIG 1911 is they have the ramped barrel. It's the 80 series, and not that the 80 series is better, but just the way that SIG puts their 1911 together, it runs flawlessly all the time. I ran it hard, I've ran it dirty, and I know that I can count on it. Again, you know my thoughts on 357 SIG. Ballistics is huge. People will say that it's no better than a 9mm, and I mean, I don't know how you can argue with physics. 1,500 feet per second is better than 1,200 feet per second. And there's the thoughts of over-penetration. Get a round for self-defense. They make high penetration rounds, they make rapidly expanding rounds that won't over-penetrate. So just do your research on the ammo that you carry, try it in your gun, make sure it works, make sure it feeds, make sure you're comfortable shooting it, and I think that's huge. Get used to how you carry, practice drawing, practice reloading, because you don't want to figure out that you're practicing and trying to figure something out in the small chance that it's when you actually need to use it. So make sure that the way everything's set up, it works for you, and everything's where you're comfortably going to be able to get it. That's kind of my big thoughts on my daily carry. Let me switch out to that holster and I'll show you how I wear the PPK, and then I'll wrap the video up. And then just to show you guys real quick, this is the Vetter Al Kydex holster. you can't get around how awesome solid Kydex is, which is why I always keep this as an option. It's just not near as comfortable wearing it at 3 o'clock all day or even anywhere, because the hybrid holsters just disappear while you're wearing them. But the draw on Kydex is awesome, and it just holsters, reholsters, everything is really easy. So I always do keep that as an option. I will switch it up sometimes, kind of depending on my mood, but that's it, so you guys can see it. So here I am with the PPK. There's a lot less on you. This is the way I would typically wear it. Sometimes I'll adjust how I have my mag pouches. My mag pouch with the mags. I will tend to wear this appendix if I'm trying to go someplace where I don't really want it to show at all, because you can't argue with it. Even though it's not necessarily the safest way or the smartest way to carry all the time, because most of the negligent discharges happen during appendix, you can't get around it, and I would rather take the risk of having something on me deep concealed and knowing that I've trained and practiced and knowing that I have faith in my firearm and the way I carry it, to wear it there than not be prepared at all. So you'll see I have it right here, my mags. I can get it out nice and easy. It's right where it needs to be. One of the reasons I trust the PPK is the double action trigger is probably 12 pounds or more. It's a heavy trigger, so with that it also has a safety. I don't use it, but it's there. It's always right there for me. And then once it goes to single action, the single action on this is just like the SIGs. You got a millimeter of trigger pull and about a 3 pound trigger. So I really love that. The decocker safety, and it's always right there, so you can always do whatever you need to do, and it's good to go. I will carry, there's no mag in this, everything I always use is empty, of course, so for safety while I'm playing with this, but I'll have a flush fit magazine when I'm carrying it so it doesn't print as much, and then I carry the finger rest mags to get the extra grip, and then it doesn't protrude out when I'm carrying it. So again, the same kind of mag pouch from my friend Bob. These Utila clips are awesome, but they're a pain in the ass to get off. It's got a Utila clip. He designed them so you can tuck in around it if you need to. I hardly ever tuck in my shirt, but that is how I wear my PPK if I need to slim down and have the most minimal amount of things on my waist or on my belt. Thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put them below in the comments section. If you haven't already, please subscribe. You can do that by clicking that little circle that pops up there. And remember, if you're looking for a new pet or animal, please adopt. There's thousands of animals looking for a new home, and that home could be with you. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.